The remainder theorem is just going to be a part of getting to that point where we can factor and solve a polynomial equation or find the roots of a polynomial function. We need to do division to factor. So I'm going to show you what we call synthetic division. So this is kind of like what we just did with the numbers, except now we're looking at polynomials. We need to be able to take something like x cubed plus 2x squared minus 5x minus 6 and divide it by a binomial factor. So like I said, the process that I'm going to show you is called synthetic division. You could also do what's called long division, and if you're interested in seeing how that works, have a look in your textbook because it shows you long division. But synthetic division is quicker and a little bit easier, and because we only ever need to divide by binomial factors, this will work. If you had to divide by a larger factor, this wouldn't work, but for here it does. So what you're going to do is take that number. If you think of the factors, remember this is like an x minus p factor. So take that number that's subtracted inside the factor and write that down first. So our factor is x plus 2. What number is being subtracted from the x? In here. 2? Negative 2. Negative 2 is the number that's being subtracted from the x. So we're going to put down a negative 2. And then I'm going to kind of make a space like this where we're going to do our division. Inside, I'm going to write down the coefficients of all of the variables. We need to make sure that they're written in order. So this is a cubic, so we need the x cubed coefficient, and then the x squared coefficient, and then the x coefficient, and then the constant. So the x cubed coefficient is 1, the x squared coefficient is 2, the x coefficient is negative 5, and the constant is negative 6. If one of those was missing, we'd put a 0. But basically, do you see, all I did was took the numbers in front of the variables. So 1, 2, negative 5, negative 6. That's how you're going to set it up. We're going to do, well, actually, you're going to do a few of these. I'm probably just going to do 1 or 2. But then you're going to do a few of these to make sure you've got it. But that's how you set it up. You take the number that's being subtracted from x in the factor and put that on the outside. On the inside, you put the coefficients. You just have to make sure they're in the right order. So the highest power of the variable first, down to the constant. Now what you're going to do is bring down that first number. So 1, I'm just going to take it to there. This might look something like the way that you learned to do long division. Maybe. But I'm not sure how you learned to do it. Now what you're going to do is multiply. And we're multiplying the negative 2 by the 1 that's down there. So multiply this number by this number, and the answer goes up there. So negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. No, now you're going to add those two numbers together. So negative 2 plus negative 2 is 0. Now you continue to do that. So you're going to multiply. No, negative 2 again by 0. And you get 0. And then add those two numbers together again. Negative 5 plus 0 is negative 5.
So 1, 0,
Multiply again. Negative 2 times negative 5 is 10. Oops. Add those together. So that's 4. And then we're done. So it's multiplying then adding the whole way across. And then we get our answer from down here. This is actually our answer. But it's going to be, you look at, those are the coefficients in the answer. So the first one that we're going to have, though, we started with an x cubed up here. And we divide it by an x. So what kind of term does that give us? An x squared. You need to go one down from what you started with. So we have 1x squared, 0 x's, -5 with no x's, right? Maybe I should put that 0x in just so you see it. You wouldn't write it in your answer, but it might help you for now. And then we have a remainder of 4. So I'm going to do that like this, plus 4 over x plus 2. That's the answer. When I actually write out my answer, I'm not usually going to put that 0x in there, but I just want to show you what that 0 does. It's the x's. So I would just write it as x squared minus 5 plus 4 over x plus 2. That's how I would actually write it.